Welcome to Tumbili in the heart of a place called Narratoy, just outside the Masai Mara National Reserve in Kenya. It is an incredible off-grid wilderness home that will accommodate comfortably 10 people. A combination of kind of tree house, safari lodge feel, raised up in the canopy, connected with boardwalks, rope bridges, right on the Mara River. Quite a spectacular spot. Let's have a look around. So this is our entrance arrival spot. As you come in your safari vehicle, you'll get dropped off here. We've created this beautiful landscaped kind of sanctuary where you can enjoy a cold drink as you get welcomed. You know, just be able to sit and chill and have a chat. I mean, this is a lovely place on its own, to be honest with you. The idea behind this plot is to create an authentic safari lodge feel combined with a bit of a tree house. Raising everything up off the ground gives a sense of security, and a genuine security. You're not going to get eaten at night, but also it's just part of that authentic playfulness. So the guest experience is going to be a kind of series of reveals, basically. So the first reveal is this sort of entrance area, but you still can't really see what's going on with the actual buildings because they're all quite well hidden in the trees. And because it's all in the air 2.5 meters up, you can't actually see a great deal, but you just get snippets. Our journey starts with a winding walkway which gets us up into the trees. We'll walk our way up this way and have a look at the main lodge. So this property comprises of a main central lodge which has got a dining room and a living space, and then 3 guest lodges, a 2-storey family lodge and 2 single-storey guest lodges, and then a master suite, which is a master bedroom including living space, huge ensuite. This is the entrance. You have to traverse a big rope bridge to get to the front door, which is great fun. Once this is established, this has only just been planted, it's all going to grow up and feel much more wild than it does at the moment. And enter through this incredible Lamu-style door, which leads you into the main lodge. And another reveal as you're greeted by our swimming pool, our infinity pool, and just on the other side of the lawn is the Masai Mara River, well famous for being traversed by hundreds of thousands of animals every year, but it's rammed full of hippos and crocs. It's quite an amazing sight. We're just finishing the landscaping in the next couple of weeks, and some of that foliage along the river bank is going to be reduced so that you get fantastic views down the river. In our main lodge, we have a bar. Still a work in progress. This incredible dining area with a huge feature table. We're going to have some incredible lighting coming in later this week, and a wonderful feature fireplace, dual aspect. So you've got a sort of seating area, communal space, and then a lovely lounge area on this side. We've got washroom facilities and a sort of boot room, which is also accessible from outside separately. So if you're coming in muddy boots, you can drop that up there. And then there's lots of different ways of kind of traversing this site. Part of our brief was to create an entirely high-level walkway system to link each building through the site. But we've also created little shortcuts via rope bridges. If you're staying here and your family are there, you've got some young kids in the family lodge and you're having a G&T in the evening, it's nice and close. You can just zip across if somebody's needing attention. And then we've created these incredible covered walkways, bit of shade in the day, and obviously if it's raining, a rain-safe access. And these just wind their way through. We've done our very best not to cut any trees down. So the whole site was built by hand. We didn't have any heavy machinery at all, and that enabled us to really work around the trees. In actual fact, we only took 1 small tree out in the end, and everything else has been incorporated into our design. It was part of our ethos of just keeping it natural and allowing everything to establish into the landscape. So at this point you have a junction off to the garden lodge, which has incredible mountain views, and then we can go down here to River Lodge or our family lodge, wind our way along these lovely walkways. Still very much a work in progress. We've got thermodynamic water heating systems which run off our massive solar system, so we're entirely off-grid here, 100% off-grid. A little tea and coffee hatch so you get your coffee delivered in the morning, and then this is pretty typical of one of our guest lodges. Again, still a work in progress. Big ensuite bedroom. In this one we have a little second floor with a bedroom for 3 upstairs, and then a lovely ensuite. So WC, big copper bath, that's going in here, shower, and there's some sliding doors here. And then easy access. So this is going to be a sort of tranquil corner, lots of pot plants and greenery, and just give some privacy. So let's have a quick walk down to the River Lodge at the far end. So you can get from one side of the site to the other on these high level walkways. It's about 400, 500 meters, so quite a good distance. So this is a classic guest lodge, very comfortable accommodation for two. So each little lodge has its own fireplace, and then there's going to be a super king bed, and obviously all furnished beautifully with mozzie nets and all the rest. This one has a fantastic view, again with a little bit of trimming which we haven't done yet, out onto the river, and actually one of my favourite parts of this project. So let's have a quick look down here. And part of our brief for this project was to create a landscape which seamlessly blended into what is a pretty wild environment, and obviously it's a luxury home in the wild, so there's a degree of comfort required. We've put in these incredible stone pathways, locally mined stone, and laid just to feather in and out of the landscape, and you can just see across there to what is our fire pit patio, where we'll have a look in a minute. Just a beautiful space to enjoy sundowners. Cracking sunset. We had a cracking sunset last night, which we enjoyed from there. And out onto what is our formal lawn. And here you can see these are hippo posts. These keep the hippos out at night and just allow that area of the lawn to become a little bit more formal, whilst everything else is quite wild. It's required really because hippos, I mean, they do damage things, particularly at night when they're grazing. We do want to encourage everything else to come through, so little warthog and all the other stuff will just be able to get under this fence and enjoy grazing the lawn. Little lawn mowers that they are. And this little path leads out to this cantilevered deck, which just has the most incredible views up and down river. So this is the Mara River. At the moment it's quite dry and there's very little water in here, but I've seen it right up to the top of this riverbank. So really literally coming lapping on to this deck, and it's a monster. What an incredible place. But to sit here, enjoy lunch or just dinner or sundowners or whatever it is, and just enjoy that amazing view. So we are in the sort of formal lawn area. I say formal, this is still going to be very wild. It's been planted with all the sort of indigenous plants and flowers, and just going to re-establish as a sort of wild meadow garden. And it leads through to this incredible fire pit patio. Testament to the guys who spent months and months chipping away at these little stones to create something really, really special. But the attention to detail here is absolutely remarkable. So we've got a beautiful concentric circles effectively, but this incredible detail of stonework which leads into our fire pit area. And this is just going to be flexible space. We'll have directors' chairs, somewhere to enjoy the sun which goes down over there, a big fire and a couple of G&Ts in the evening, and our pool, which is heated by air source heat pump, and once it's all pumped up and flowing, it's all just flowing over the edge and looks absolutely stunning. So our pathway down there leads along the riverfront to the other side of the site, back to our owner's lodge, but we're going to take the high level walkway up this way via these wonderful cantilevered steps. Lighting still to go in, which is just about to happen, and again via another winding walkway to the other end of the site. So here you get a little sneak preview of another building actually, which we haven't been to yet, which is our back of house and front of house kitchen, but that is linked to the main lodge via another little walkway through the trees for easy access. So although it's a little bit separated for privacy and noise, it's still close enough to be practical. This is amazing, this bit. I just love it as it gets sort of dark. Look at that light. So down this end we have our owner's suite, effectively the master suite. This has a big living room and its own little kitchenette. It's got a separate gym and massage room stroke yoga platform, and another featured door, which is fantastic. I think this room's got my favourite fireplace in, and we did do quite a few fireplaces here. It's got a wonderful view down the river. There's an amazing bit of strangler fig that frames this fireplace, and this is really just a living area, so there'll be sofas, a bit of a workstation, small kitchenette, toilet. And then in here we have our master bedroom, another fireplace leading out onto a deck with lovely vistas down into the garden. The master ensuite, which is still a bit of a work in progress, sorry about the mess. Double vanity, dressing room, owner's cupboards for you're letting to friends or family or commercially. And then we have an indoor-outdoor shower. So big outdoor shower area, which again will be filled with greenery, and this will be an indoor shower. And then that leads around to, I think probably the feature, a massive copper bath, which again just has private views out onto the landscape and down the river. Quite spectacular. It's going to be amazing. Going to have a quick look at the top So winding our way along here, we're just going to nip over and have a quick look at the gym, and we're going to take you to look at the vegetable garden, which is another amazing highlight. Trim a few little branches back here. Here we have our gym, although currently being used as our site office, so not huge but big enough for a running machine and free weights and cross trainer and so on, so that will be fitted out. And then we have a little staircase which leads us up to the highest point on our site, surrounded by wonderful trees, including this lovely fever tree. This is classic for this part of the world, beautiful thing. Here we get sunrise mountain views, so this will be the perfect place for a morning coffee. Watch the sun come up, enjoy the tranquility of this incredible place, and also has some nice views down the rest of the site. Let's have a look at the veg garden. So although you can get around our site at high level, there are easy access to the ground, partly for staffing, but also because it's a lovely place to walk around. So we've put in little natural paths, which again will blend into the landscape, with a few little stone patios just to break things up, and possibly host a little chair and tables out here in the bushes. This path leads down to just the most wonderful space, a little monkey-proof walled garden where we can grow our own veg and salads and herbs and just fresh stuff that's easy accessible from kitchen to garden, 50 meters, so not too bad. So this wonderful space, designed by our genius landscape designer Chloe, is a destination in its own right. There'll be a lovely table and some chairs here to enjoy lunch. Just come and be in this wonderfully quiet, tranquil space and enjoy a meal. I will happily enjoy lunch in here. So of course, a place like this doesn't operate on its own. It has staff, and we've catered for 6 full-time staff, and we have built their own staff facilities at the back, which is also where we have all the clever stuff. So we've got a huge solar system, lots of rainwater harvesting, massive underground water storage, and obviously backup generators and stuff. Esa mirada. Okay. I know it's got a tree right in front of the carport, but I'm loath to cut it down, so it's going to stay there. You have to manoeuvre your car around the tree to get in the garage, otherwise that's good to go. Here we are back at the arrival point. So that's Tumbili. What a pleasure it's been to create something so astoundingly beautiful. It's been a joy working here, and somebody very lucky is going to get to own this place. I wish it was me.